Welcome back everyone to my 4-robot party challenge run of the Final Fantasy Legend 2. We're here in the Nasty Dungeon. I'm speeding up a little bit, going at 1.5 speed, just so I can finish this dungeon off in this episode. And we can get back to the plot in the next one. So we're here in the Nasty Dungeon just to mainly get all this treasure. We don't need all the treasure, of course, but I'm going to get it anyway because obsessive compulsive and, you know, it's just easier while I'm grabbing all the boxes while I was grabbing the boxes that I need. It's important that we, you know, get all this stuff here, well, the important stuff at least, because as you saw with Magnate in the last episode, bosses are getting a little bit tougher, and we can't just rely on IG-88 carrying the party anymore. Everybody's gonna have to start to contribute. So we got a 4th laser gun there, gave it to MSC6. That'll help out. We need that for, like I said, a future boss. We want all our characters to have a laser gun. Laser guns cut through shields. So, this Bud boss has a shield, and the laser gun will be able to penetrate his shield. It also is unaffected by O damage, which the boss has, so we do that set like 300 to 350 damage. So, speaking of Magnate, he killed his son in the last episode, the Shogun. That's where, you know, I got the title, "You failed me for the last time." Admiral Oswald, they killed him when he failed him going to Hoth. So, yeah, Magnate, I guess, is more evil than Vader because while Vader killed a lot of people, he didn't kill his son. He actually ended up being redeemed by his son Luke in Return of the Jedi. So, Vader died to save his son. Magnate killed his son to try to save himself, I guess. Get some more guns. Don't really need them. We did get a tank though. That'll be good for MSE6. IG-88 don't need a tank anymore because you got that samurai bow to take care of multi-targeting. We'll get another samurai bow a little bit later in this dungeon. A bunch of stuff. Dragon helmet. We got a dragon sword though. That'll go to PLNK. Boost up his strength. Being our power robot, which PLNK series robots were the power droids in Star Wars, so like I said, I found it fitting that he's the power droid. He'll be getting his like really good weapon in this dungeon too, the Gungnir Spear, named after the Norse god Odin's spear. It never misses in mythology. So it's like that in this game too, it'll never miss, so it doesn't matter what your agility is. And also, in a sense, doesn't matter what your strength is, because even if your strength is under 70, it still does a lot of damage. It just does bonus damage if your strength is above 70, and Plank will have no problem getting above 70 strength. Even though like the stats will basically say 99, they actually do go higher. You just don't see them over 99. Just gotta be careful though, like if you're doing that agility glitch where you use a martial art, use all the use of the martial art and then move it around, and keeping that agility bonus without keeping a slot. You still have to just sort of keep track of how much agility your character has, even above 99, because the game can actually roll over the agility. You go from 255 back down to 1. But luckily there's, you know, game FAQs, other Final Fantasy wikis have information that tells you how much agility each item gives. We'll eventually get a better martial art karate, but we'll still keep that, whatchamacallit, judo, because judo is the second best. So there's the second samurai bow. I thought I gave it to IG-88, I guess I gave it to Forlone. But now they both have their samurai bows. There's the defense sword. It's a unique sword in that equipping it on a robot will boost their defense, not their strength. And it's kind of like the tank where it can function as a shield when used in battle. So you attack with it and it can block physical attacks. There's the self-fix. This is the only one you can find in the game. You can get other ones an enemy drop later. But it's kind of a rare drop. What the self-fix does is it restores, basically gives the robot regeneration, and at the end of each round they restore 10% of their max hit points. So if you use that agility glitch to say, get a whole, in addition to like boosting your agility level 99, you can actually boost your hit points above 999. And so you'll be recovering a lot of hit points if that's the case. You basically get an invincible robot. You know, I guess you spend enough time, you could overflow the agility glitch, then keep going over and over and over and over again with it. And just basically like get a 9,999 hit point robot. Just recovering max health every time. Humans and mutants, the most they can get is 1,038 hit points. That's if they use a body potion, gives plus 40 potion. If you manage to get your hit points exactly to 998 before you use the potion, then you give them those plus 40. Because if you have 999, just one more hit point, it won't let you use a stat boosting item. So for like human strength and agility, the max they can get before adding equipment bonuses in would be 101. You have 98 in a stat, use a plus 3 potion, take it to 99, 100, 101. Parasuit, that's a good piece of armor. On a human or a mutant, you can only have the parasuit as armor. It takes the place of boots, body armor, helmet, and gauntlets. Robot though, because they don't have armor restrictions, you can put both parachutes that you find in the game on a robot. But I will split them up. It's a good piece of equipment. It gives a lot of, to humans and mutants, it gives bonuses, I think, to strength and agility, plus 15. Gives a few other protection. Doesn't protect against all the elements, I think it just protects against 2. But, nice piece of equipment. Dragon Arm would still give, like I said, the protection from all elements. But we have the Aegis Shield right now, and eventually, like I said, we're going to get a 5th party member that will always be using the Aegis Shield. So, and they have maxed out agility, that party member. So, she will basically usually always go first, and can throw up that barrier. So I'd rather get the regular better defense that the Arthur armor gives, the more hit points the Arthur armor gives, and another thing the Arthur armor gives that the Dragon Mail does not give is protection from stone. Stone is one of the few deadly spells in the game, because it just turns your character into stone, then they can't move, can't do anything. If everyone's turned to stone, then you get a game over, and you basically have to buy soft potions. So this is pretty much what the loadout of Forlome and IG-88 is going to look like. So I have to get another karate for IG-88 there, and another Arthur armor for, I think, Forlome. Like I said, we'll get that in the final dungeon. There's the Hyper Cannon. It's a 3-use item. You give it on the robot and it'll only use, it'll go down to 1, because, it cuts things in half around down. Well, what the Hyper Cannon does is, basically you can use it and it will automatically defeat all enemies on the screen, with the exception of, like, boss monsters. You can't use it against boss monsters. So a lot of people might save this for, you know, give it to a robot that they always have one use. And they can use it when they're trying to farm 7 swords from this Honeywa, which is like the strongest monster in the game. But I'm not going to bother farming Honeywas for 7 swords. The 7 swords, in order to be really, really effective, you need to have both high strength and high agility. High agility to get all 7 hits from the sword, and then high strength to be able to do a lot of damage with each strike of the sword. So like if we gave the 7 sword to one of our agility robots, it'd probably hit all 7 times, but probably do like no damage. Because the 7 sword doesn't give any bonus stats. It doesn't give agility, it doesn't give strength. I guess it would be severely broken if it gave both stat increases to the robot. But yeah, if you cheat and do the agility glitch, you can have a power robot like PLNK and max out his agility with 255, and then give him the 7 sword and do a ton of damage. We're on the final floor. If you go to the actual exit, I'm not actually going to go to the exit. Once I get the last treasure chest, I'm just going to use the Pegasus Magi to leave. Because after you get the last treasure chest, there's still a little bit of walking to get to the end. If you go to the end, you meet the fairy that you met at the beginning of the dungeon. If you talk to the fairy at the beginning of the dungeon, she basically says, like, this is a nasty dungeon, like, I wouldn't recommend going in. So at the end here, when you talk with her, she's like, the dungeon was nasty, wasn't it? Just like I said. And you give the choice to answer yes or no. If you say yes, she's like, I told you so, and then she lets you leave. If you say no, then she's like, oh, well then, I guess you want more of it then. And she walks you back to the 5th floor, the floor we got the mirror mask there. That sword will eventually be replaced, but, whatchamacallit, when we get a better weapon, Dragon Sword will also be replaced by another Sun Sword. Glass Sword, it does set damage, but it only has one use. Sadly, so the robot will never be able to use the Glass Sword. And unfortunately, it's not like the karate or a martial art, where see it has 0 uses, we can't just shift it around in our inventory and have it disappear and give us that plus 32 bonus to strength and just reuse it over and over again. Yes, and martial arts are coded differently, where when a robot equips them, it doesn't cut their durability in half. And I guess the reason they did that was because, otherwise you'd be able to kind of cheese martial arts, because martial arts do more damage the less uses they have. So if you were able to cut their uses in half every time you put them on a robot, or de-equip them on a robot, you can just like buy a martial art, give it to the robot, de-equip it, equip it, de-equip it, equip it, de-equip it, until you got it basically down to like 1 or 2 uses, and then give it to a human or a mutant, and then do a ton of damage with it. So games were preventing that, I think, getting cheesed, but so no use going. Like I said, it's over to the right is the exit, but we'll just use the Pegasus Magi to walk back. And I always find it funny just walking back to the first town here, because this is probably a very poor place, because poor in the sense that they probably don't have a lot of money because the monsters in this area don't give a lot of money. So I don't know how this shopkeeper is affording this massive, expensive equipment from us, but I always thought it's funny to do that. So, well, let's have more fun in the next episode when we actually continue on with the plot. Thanks for following along. Bye.